After several internal delays and reshoots stemming from confusion over what can or cannot be included in the movie, the most hotly anticipated musical biopic of 2026 is finally here. Because beyond a doubt, Michael Jackson is one of the most widely known and beloved pop stars, the king of pop as he's often referred to, with a storied legacy that lives on to this very day. So does the movie Michael manage to do that legacy justice? Or is it just an attempt to cash in on the goodwill and endearing adoration of his legion of loyal fans? The story covers the earlier years of Michael Jackson's musical career, beginning with the formation of the Jackson 5 in 1967. Under the grueling tutelage of their abusive father Joseph, they perfect their acts and soon attract attention from Motown, where their music quickly rises to the top of the charts. But over the years, it becomes clear that Michael is the true star of the show, and he eventually seeks more creative freedom by going solo, except he struggles to escape his father's shadow, even as he tries to recapture the childhood he was never allowed to have. The main ingredient of any great biopic is an interesting subject matter, and they don't really get much more interesting than Michael Jackson, one of the most well-documented people in the modern age, from his early musical accomplishments to the scandals that plagued the latter half of his illustrious career. And it is for that very reason that it was always going to be tricky tackling a story as nuanced and complex as his, because it was impossible to please everyone, whichever way they decided to go. But it seems the decision to focus the story on the earlier years meant they could basically leave out all the problematic bits. The word on the street is that a lot of that was already filmed and was included in the original 4-hour cut of the movie, and since they were forced to reject the film in order to avoid potential legal disputes, the current plan is to introduce some of that stuff in a sequel, if the movie is successful enough to warrant one. So it remains to be seen if and how any of that will get handled. In terms of what actually did make it into the movie though, I must say that I was immediately invested in Michael's story, despite my existing familiarity with those events. Young Michael, who was played by Giuliano Cruvaldi, was instantly endearing, stealing every scene he was in. His father was also quickly set up as a villainous figure in his life, which only further helps to get us in Michael's corner. Some of it could be considered emotionally manipulative, sure, but so long as it is effective, I don't see that as a problem. I would have loved to see more about why the family chose to go into music, but the movie starts with the Jackson 5 all but fully formed, with no real background given. And from the very beginning, it was clear to me that the music was going to be a real highlight of the movie, because every song was recreated in rich, luscious detail, and I was glad I was experiencing them through crisp surround sound speakers. This is of course also a testament to the timelessness of the songs themselves. The same thing can be said about the performances. This is a musical biopic after all, with lots of singing and dancing. And the glue holding all that together was Jafar Jackson, who basically embodies his late uncle for the role, right down to his mannerisms and signature dance moves. I had my initial reservations about the decision to cast an untrained actor for such an iconic role, but those doubts were assuaged mere seconds after he popped up on screen. He effectively became Michael, and I'd be remiss if I didn't also give props to the hair, makeup and costume departments for helping recreate his iconic looks and fashion for the film. So Michael looks and sounds great, but how well does it function as a biographical drama? Or how does it rank alongside other musical biopics like Elvis, Bohemian Rhapsody, or my personal favorite, Better Man? Sadly, this is where I feel the film falls short of its true potential, in its inability to do anything more with its storytelling than the barest minimum. It felt like several checkboxes were being checked as we went through all the various milestones, without making any efforts to dive deeper into the motives and psyche of its subject matter. So I am definitely hoping this is an area that gets addressed, should the sequel happen. If you're a fan of Michael Jackson and his vast catalogue of hit songs, then chances are you'd come out of Michael wholly satisfied. But if you're one of those looking to learn anything new about the late singer, or what made him such a unique voice and talent to reckon with, then you might be left wanting. Personally, I'm a little too biased to view the movie as anything other than a celebration of one of the greatest musicians of our time, and as such, it gets an easy recommendation from me for the quality of the musical numbers alone. I'll give the film an 8 out of 10. What did you think of Michael? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be dropping a review for Mortal Kombat 2 soon, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on if you don't want to miss that review as soon as it goes up. And until the next one, this is Michael signing off.